Hey Moto campers, welcome back. It's about that time of year where everybody's getting their gear together, ready to go camping, and you may have pulled out that old sleeping pad and realized it was terribly uncomfortable last year and you froze. Well, we've got the two best options right here for you. Today we're going to be going over the Sea to Summit Etherlite XT and the Big Agnes Q-Core Deluxe. Both are insulated pads, both are thick, both are wide. So let's get into it. The insulated Etherlite XT has an R value of 3.2. The insulated Q-Core Deluxe has an R value of 4.3. The Etherlite XT is 25 inches wide. The Q-Core Deluxe is 30 inches wide. Both are 78 inches long. The XT is 4 inches thick, whereas the Big Agnes Q-Core Deluxe is 3.5 inches thick in the middle, but the external chambers are actually 4 inches thick, which actually creates a taper so that way you stay centered. Both of these include a stuff sack that can be used as an inflation device for the pad, so that way you do not have to use your mouth to blow them up. And again, both of these are top rated pads, and both of these have got really good ratings on how quiet they are whenever you're rolling around back and forth. So that way, if you're sleeping with somebody else, or if you're sleeping in a tent next to somebody else, they're not gonna hear you rolling around in the middle of the night. So let's go ahead and air these up and put them side by side so you can see for yourselves what they look like and how easy they are to inflate. The pack size of these two pads are still relatively small. This is about 11 inches, this is about 10.5 inches in length. The Big Agnes pad is wider than the Etherlite pad. They still pack relatively small compared to something like a self-inflating pad. The self-inflating pad is wider than both of these and taller than both of these. It still packs pretty small, but you're going to get a lot more comfort out of an air pad than you will a self-inflating pad, but you're going to have a higher R value out of the self-inflating pad. So we're going to start with the Big Agnes. Here's the inflation bag that it comes with. And there is a nice little valve over here that actually says in and out on it, so it's easily labeled. We'll open this up. Open that. Pop onto it. And $14 and we'll call her done, because that's actually pretty stiff. So I'd say probably about 12 to 14 of these half-hearted filled bags to roll and push the air into this mat. I'd say the first 10 or so, it doesn't look like it's doing anything, and then there towards the end, the last 2 to 3, it really rises. And this is actually probably a little too tight for me. You've got a valve on the end, which is your in and out, and on the end, there's actually a little tiny plunger that you can push into and release your air pressure, so that way you can get your perfect stiffness. All right, so now we got that one. Let's go ahead and get the Sea to Summit aired up. So a big difference between the two is that the Big Agnes actually has a bag that it comes with to use as an inflation device, and this one is actually built into the bottom of the stuff sack. So you'll open one end to get your air mattress out, and on the other end you'll open it up and find a little pump sack with a valve. And that's what we'll use to air up this one. So just kind of looking at the instructions that they've got printed on the pump sack, and it actually has instructions how to inflate your air pillow. So if you turn it inside out, there is actually an inflation device for the smaller hole on your Aeros pillows. So if you get a pad, you get a pillow. Now this one does have one valve, but it has a flap for inflate, and then it has a flap for deflate. Make sure you open the right one. All right, and here we go. Pretty quick. So I probably got that overly filled up, but that only took about 4 or 5 bagfuls. So the one thing I wanted to point out when I was inflating this is that the difference in inflation bag design between the two. So because of your smaller chamber and your bigger chamber, when you're blowing into it, it inflates very fast, and you get that Venturi effect, and it holds the air in there too. So that way you can really get a solid bag full of air to push into the pad. Whereas with the big Agnes one, it's such a wide opening when you blow into it to get a little bit of air in there. You have to snatch it really quick, and a lot of the air comes back out. So my first impressions between the two is that this inflation sack is much better than the big Agnes one. Just a minor detail when you're airing it up. All right, so this is the insulated rectangular shaped pad. First impressions, noticeably, it is a lot more narrow than the Q-Core Deluxe. It seems lighter. It's lighter too than the Q-Core. Obviously it's smaller, but by a significant margin, the Q-Core Deluxe feels a little bit heavier. So if you look at the thickness of the two, like I said, the outer chambers of the Q-Core are going to be 4 inches thick, and the overall thickness across the board for the Etherlite is 4 inches thick. If you would like to see the Q-Core Deluxe put up against a bunch of other different pads, go over to Backcountry Adventure Motorsports on YouTube and check out Kyle. He did a review of this pad along with a bunch of other pads, and it's a good comparison video. I'll link his video above. These are both great pads. You're not going to go wrong with either one. They're both at a $240 price point. If you really want to step up your comfort while camping, these are two of the best pads you can get. These are going to cover you from spring to fall with the R value that they have. Not so much for, winter camping, but most people aren't going motorcycle winter camping. All right, so just to give you guys an idea, both of these pads are, again, the 78-inch length pads, 30 inches wide, 25 inches wide. And just to show you, stacked on top of each other. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Both of these pads are super comfortable. Really, I like the Q-Core Deluxe just because it's so much wider. I like having a lot of room because I do toss and turn at night. And I think this is going to be my new go-to air mattress. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that way you get notified whenever we drop new gear demo videos that are awesome for motorcycle camping. Thank you for watching, and ride safe.